Next item. We're going to be talking about this. It's a spear. It's bigger than my other spear. But we're talking about large weapons, so I decided to have a big spear. People have been asking me about how to make a spear. Alright, PVC. Right about there. Right about there is where the PVC ends. Same for the standard tip. Okay, let's see. Yeah, about right there. Okay, I made one line of it silver and gray to make a tip. Make an edge, because when you're working with weapons this particular size, don't put an edge on them. Those suckers can hurt. Alright. I decided how long I wanted the blade to be, and the rest of it is handle. That's all it is. This, what I'm using here, is a squishy insulation. It's actually kind of squishy, and it will form fit to where you hold it. And you can get it, it's black, it's kind of foam rubbery, and you can get it at Home Depot. Now, I've had a class about spears before, so you understand the different positionings that you can use with this. Each one of them has a different point of flow. When you're holding it here, the flow is in the center, and your arms move at a center point around it. If you slide to then hold that center point, you now have an option. You can put a center point here, so you're still moving between your hands, and their hands are kind of like orbiting that center point. Or you could have this be your center point, or this be your center point. So you can swing it this way, you can swing it this way. And this will allow you all of the same stuff that we've already been talking about all along. Short is, long is two hands together, giving you long strikes. Now, this seems like a very simple move, but now the idea is to move within that spin. So as you take a spin, you move with the spin. Now you've switched it. Now you can use that in combat as well as a great way to keep everyone away and then move in for attack, as long as they're already away. Okay. And the idea of flow is to have it change. So you can start here and move and switch to a lower spot. And then switch over. Those little spins. Basic spin. I'll do that as slow as I can. Alright, and you practice getting it faster and faster. You can do it vertically as well, using pretty much the same motion, depending on which way you start it. Interesting point here that I should mention. As I've mentioned before, this is a massively utility tool, and talking about flow with the spear is more than one video worth. The main point you have to bear in mind with it is take the time to learn how it moves and then flow it by learning how to move it from one move to the next. Switching as you go causes new movements, new changes. You'll have to feel them depending on where you put your hand. It's like a guitar. Where you put your hand on the neck changes the music. Alright, so let's move on. Now that you're dealing with two different heads, your center point is going to be your main pivot for almost everything you do. Whether your one hand is on it and holding it in that position, or if your hands are far from it and they're orbiting around that position, alright, will change depending on what you need. The same movements apply as always from the center that you've learned all along. Hand rolls. Hand rolls have to do with rolling it over your hand. I know that seems relatively simple, and it is, as far as the concept. But once again, like always, any new ability, any new skill You have to learn from scratch, and the first couple times you're going to go like this, and it ain't going to go, you know, or you'll shoot it way, way too far. But with practice and time, you'll be able to get it, and you'll be able to go both ways. You'll be able to do it with one hand. You'll be able to do it more than once. A fast way of getting your hand into a new position while flowing, besides sliding, is doing a quick roll to where you want it to go. The staff is long. So once again, I want to pass to you, please remember, when working with this, please make sure you have enough room. I know it sounds remedial, and I know that it sounds like you should know this already, and I'm babying you, and that's not what I mean to do in any way, shape, or form. I can't tell you what the percentage is, because I don't know the real percentage, but you would be alarmed at the actual percentage of accidents that happen because someone overlooked a remedial thing. So, staff. I love the staff. It's a fun toy. You can do the same spins that you can with spear, trying to bear in mind that you're trying to keep a flow, which suggests that it doesn't stop often. But when it does stop, allow your body to move into that stop and then change into a new flow. This isn't just the weapon that is going through this. It is yourself. You are not controlling the weapon. The weapon is not moving around you. You and the weapon, or boffer, or baton, or flaming stick, or balls, or poi, or your job, or school, or your relationships, or you name it, is you and the thing working together as one. So, when you work with an item long enough that you can understand it, you can be a part of it, you can move with it, and understand the concept that works with how it moves, is when you'll find the flow. In the end, I'm just teaching ideas. I'm teaching concepts that might work because they have been working for me. But some people are different than others. You will have to get out there and practice. Practice, 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 and drill, and practice and drill. I'm making it look somewhat easy with my flow, but I do this. This is what I do. And I do it enough that I've drilled it into my system, that I don't have to think about it anymore. That's how I'm able to talk to you while doing it. That is the biggest thing I can pass on to you. There's a difference between knowing the path and walking the path. It's just that simple. So, this is flow with long weapons, long tools. I'm Will Gray. Love. It's what you do.